Hi everyone, with the release of the Vivo X200 Ultra getting really close, let's quickly talk about last year's device, the Vivo X100 Ultra, and how it held up in this long-term review of it, especially when it comes to the camera itself. Now, for all the travels I've been to, the Vivo X100 Ultra has been with me, be it to Cologne, Open Air Museum, Landschaf Park, Paleis het Loo, or to France, which I'm not going to try to pronounce. Okay, I will. La Plage Kepler. Hopefully that wasn't too bad. But also, it's a phone that I've been using to shoot a lot of my point of view shots with. Now, part of that comes down to the incredible hardware that is inside of it. We get a 50 megapixel 1-inch main sensor, which is a 23mm equivalent and an f-stop of 1.8. We have a 200 megapixel periscope with an f-stop of 2.7, 85mm equivalent, and a 1/1/4-inch sensor size, the largest one you can get at the moment from what I've seen. And of course a 50 megapixel ultra wide with an f-stop of 2.2 and a 1/2-inch sensor size. This hardware combined with their separate chip can create amazing shots, allowing you to capture those stunning moments and never lose a moment. Often when it comes to working with a lot of files, there is a potential that files will be broken, just like I just broke the arm from a microphone. And lucky enough, today we have a sponsor. Not for the arm, it's for the files. Wondershare Repair It. So let's discuss Wondershare Repair It. Now, naturally, with my line of work, where I work with a lot of different files can get damaged, be it for instance videos, photos that I've taken, audio and more. With Wondershare Repair It, you can recover various files, and even more so with the amount of files that I'm working with, be it for instance RAW files, log video recording or HDR videos. And naturally, those files will be compatible with my editing software, as well as DaVinci, Composer and Final Cut. It also has included, can of course fix your audio as well, your PDF files, your Office files, your iWork files, Adobe and compressed files. Either way, thank you very much Wondershare for sponsoring today's video, and of course if you want to check them out, link in the description. It helps you out and it helps me out. Either way, let's continue the video. When it comes to the Vivo X100 Ultra, naturally this is a China exclusive device, meaning it comes with Origin OS instead of FunTouch OS. Now for me, I often am not too fussed about the software experience if it works well enough. While I have my favorites with, for instance, One UI, if I can navigate well and it works smooth enough, I don't really care, especially if it has its own gallery app. And of course on the Vivo X100 Ultra that part works really well. We get pretty regular updates as well, with some big ones in between as well. For the display, it's a stunning bright display and of course with curved edges. That's something that you either like or don't. For myself, I prefer it over, for instance, a fully flush display. I don't like those. I prefer to have a curve over that. Battery life has been solid, including standby time. I would say I reach about 8 to 9 hours of average use, but if I push it a lot with videos and pictures, it's maybe around 6 to 7 hours. It really depends though on the weather as well. Audio quality is solid, but nothing crazy, but in day-to-day use, this Vivo X100 Ultra is perfectly fine for me. Apart from sometimes having one issue where it disconnects the Bluetooth and then it connects again. That's the only thing that I found out in terms of use. That was a bit inconsistent in terms of its performance. Now naturally my focus however isn't about the front, it's about the back and the camera performance of it. With the Vivo X100 Ultra we get amazing hardware, be it from the 1-inch main sensor to the 1/1.4-inch periscope and of course the size collaboration. Of course with the Vivo X100 Ultra I've gone to different locations and it always has been reliable for me, especially when it comes to that photography. Sure, for my style I sometimes like to edit my shots, get a little bit more of that feel and contrast in there to add some depth to the shot, even more so in shots like these that really help me elevate the shot for me. It has been really good to me, and when it comes to the mode itself I often prefer using texture mode over, for instance, size natural. Granted though, if you want a close to perfect reflection of the colors, albeit a bit brighter, the size natural will do you really well with that. Now naturally though, that does come at a cost in terms of contrast in the shot itself, and with photography for me that contrast just helps adding some depth to the shot itself, so for me I prefer that texture mode because of that. I feel like natural for me is a bit more flat in comparison to what I would normally like. This is also why I use one of the most useful features on any phone, the quick adjustments on the camera that allows me to change the contrast, saturation, brightness, and even more so, sharpness. With me mostly turning down the sharpness about 20 on the X100 Ultra, contrast up about 5 to 10 and saturation down to about 5 and brightness between either -10 or -20 depending on the shot itself. This feature is something that every phone should come with, including with auto photography, because most of it only have it in Pro mode. That toggle allows a phone to hit different audiences that love, for instance, that ugly over-sharpening shots, but also those who prefer that softer approach. A small feature like this honestly makes a big difference on the Vivo X100 Ultra. Now, often when it comes to my channel, I don't often forget about phones after one use, as you guys know. I want to make sure that I follow up and showcase the power of buying a phone that was released maybe a year or two ago. You save money on it, but still get amazing results with it without it eating up your wallet. Because trust me, I fully get that perspective, even if this device was sent to me. Now, are there flaws when it comes to the Vivo X100 Ultra experience when it comes to the camera? Yes is the answer, and that's mainly down to portrait mode. Here I feel Vivo has a lot to learn, especially when it comes to not having this smoothing effect. Even when I turn off the smoothing itself, it still adds some of it, and I feel like I'm losing the character of the person because of it. That smoothing of the skin itself, especially when it comes to elder people, I just feel like I'm losing that personality that is behind those flaws in the face itself. And I feel like Vivo definitely has something to learn. Allow those flaws to exist. Allow those flaws to be captured properly, because that makes it so much better for portrait photography. Don't get me wrong though, you can create some amazing portrait shots when it comes to this Vivo X100 Ultra. It's more of the close-up shots where it really starts to struggle with having those intricate details in the face itself. Because simply put, it adds that character that I'm looking for, especially in portrait photography. Look at these two edited shots. You can't tell me that these don't look good. It's just the close-up shots that really need work, especially when a person is older. And of course the wrinkles are there, and I want that in the shot itself. Those imperfections make that shot perfect. So often on my channel I speak about not buying the latest and greatest devices for several reasons. One is that you save money, and two, last year's device will still do you really well. Now, without a doubt, there are some interesting leaks when it comes to the X200 Ultra, especially using a 35mm equivalent main sensor, which is just something that I've been asking for ever since I used, of course, the Nubia Z60 Ultra. Link in the description for that one. But when it comes to the capabilities of the Vivo X100 Ultra, it's a very capable device. Yes, preference is going to matter when it comes to devices like this, especially because it's a China-only release. So do keep that in mind. However, Android Auto is in works for devices like this, so it's perfectly fine. If you have the latest update, you get the possibility of using Android Auto on it. But when it comes to the camera experience, the Vivo X100 Ultra is a very capable device in many different situations. I feel like this is one of the most reliable devices when it comes to the camera itself. Yes, we do have some AI when zooming in past a certain amount, and that's not my preference. But for myself, if I don't use that, the camera capabilities of the Vivo X100 Ultra is excellent, and I feel like it shouldn't be underrated on how much money you save on buying last year's devices. Because simply put, you will still get a great camera just for a little bit less budget. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video about the Vivo X100 Ultra and this long-term review of it with personal use for quite a few months of it. And of course, let me know in the comments below what you think about the device as well. Now, before we end, I really want to thank my members as well. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. And of course, if you want to become a member, click join below somewhere and you can become a member as well. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, like and everything. And talk to you guys in the next